Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's an honour to rise today and to present Bill 201, the Alberta Bill of Rights, Property Rights Amendment Act. Property rights have been built into our laws for the past 800 years since the Magna Carta. The purpose of the Bill of Rights is to guarantee every citizen the right to life, personal liberty, and enjoyment of property without intrusion from anyone or any group, including the government. John Locke said it best when he wrote, "All mankind, being all equal and independent, ought not to harm another in his life, his health, liberty, or possessions." Although he wrote these words 300 years ago, around the time of the Glorious Revolution, when the right of property was secured for all Englishmen. His words still ring true today. Locke understood that for a free society to flourish, the security of property is as important as your right not to be put in jail at the whim of the Crown. There is nothing that is more important that when we talk about good government than preserving and protecting these rights. While the right to life and liberty are obviously important, the right to property is the cornerstone of a prosperous society and a fully functioning democracy. Alberta farmers, ranchers, and business owners became world leaders in their different industries based on the age-old understanding that these rights would be protected by the rule of law. As a result, collectively, we have been able to build a province that is one of the best places in the world to live. When the Alberta Bill of Rights was passed in 1972, it acknowledged these historic rights to the enjoyment of property and the right not to be deprived of it or any other freedom except by due process of law. Now, the need for an exception like this for property is as obvious as it is with personal freedom. The government needs to be able to take away the freedom of convicted criminals, for example, and sometimes needs to expropriate property for projects deemed essential for the common good, like a public roadway or a water reservoir. However, over the past several years, we have seen this government take incremental steps to infringe upon these rights by creating legislation that removes the due process law provision. Put simply, while the criminal is entitled to his day in court, the government can write the laws in such a way that landowners do not. In the last few years, bills like 19, 24, 36, and 50 have become notorious for the controversy that they have sparked with regards to property rights. Each of the opposition parties have echoed the assertion of various property rights experts that these bills represent an unprecedented undermining of the rights of landowners. Every single one of these pieces of legislation sought to take away the checks and balances in our system and give the decision-making authority on the individual's property to Cabinet. Further, each took away the opportunity from landowners to challenge these acquisitions, to seek full compensation in a fair and timely manner, and now there's and without recourse to the courts. What this means is that people owning land or running a business on their land cannot be sure that when the next land use framework comes out or the next declaration for a power line, that their livelihoods won't be ruined without any hope for full compensation. That, whether they are in the minister's favour or not, might decide their fate. It is hard to argue that in respect to property rights, Alberta has stepped back 3 centuries and landowners are subject to the benevolence of Cabinet. It is these types of laws that infringe on the liberty and the freedoms of all Albertans and hurt the reputation of our province as being home to the free and democratic society. Mr. Speaker, just listen to the pieces of legislation that were passed that directly infringe on the property rights of Albertans. The passing of Bill 19 let the Minister of Infrastructure freeze development on your land indefinitely with no compensation if he thought there might be a project there in the future. I am going to say that again for emphasis. Bill 19 allowed the member of this Cabinet to decide that an Albertan can't even build a shed on his land indefinitely without having to go through full compensation for them. There were many other serious problems that the government finally amended last fall, but it's outrageous that it took 2 years of mounting political pressure to undo problems that should never have been allowed in the first place. That's what the Bill of Rights is for, so that individuals don't have to always rely on the vigilance of the majority to ensure no unjust laws are passed. But, Mr. Speaker, this is just the first piece of legislation that Alberta landowners needed to worry about. Bill 24 hands ownership of the pore space under their land right over to the energy minister so that he now has the power to let companies store CO2 under their land without needing to compensate them or even ask. It is offensive enough that the government is spending almost $2 billion from taxpayers' money on unproven technology. But it is even worse that they are asking Albertans to allow carbon to be stored under their land without being fairly compensated. Bill 36 gives the Sustainable Resource Minister the power to revoke water licenses, mineral leases, development permits, etc., with no guarantees of adequate compensation. It also gives him the power to tell municipalities that they will have to pass all kinds of bylaws that coincide with his grand plan for their region. This type of centralized decision-making has made it extremely difficult for landowners to invest in their property with any sort of confidence and has played a heavy hand with our municipalities, forcing them to coincide with the provincial government's plan. Last and perhaps not least, one of the most offensive pieces of legislation that is on the books is Bill 50, which gave Cabinet the power to declare a series of enormous power lines critical infrastructure, thereby enabling them to skip the independent needs assessment and begin running these monstrosities over land without even having proven that we need them. Even after the Prairie Firestorm told this government to immediately repeal these pieces of legislation, this government continued to stubbornly insist there wasn't a problem. Now, I believe that most of the people who voted for these bills and who stuck with the government line about the ministerial powers being necessary did so because they genuinely trust their government to do the right thing. Maybe they even trust the minister much more than they trust a judge. But you don't write laws that give the government this kind of power just because you like government. Because even here in Alberta, premiers are forced out. And even if the same party is in power for 20 or 40 years, its change is from within and not usually for the better. So Bill 201 adds a clause to the Alberta Bill of Rights to ensure that government cannot again create legislation that makes an Albertan's right due to process of law void. It ensures that all legislation, including full, fair, and timely compensation for those affected by government's legislation, and recourse to the courts to determine compensation when someone feels the government is unfair. Why do we need any courts? If we listen to the Premier and Cabinet, they declare that they will put the interest of Albertans first. This is nonsensical. It's ridiculous. These are straightforward requirements that even the government members have been extolling, especially last year when amending Bill 19. They will also, I believe, help preserve the spirit of the Bill of Rights in its attempt to protect property. The argument that the government will make, if in private, if not in public, will be that this creates roadblocks to implementing policies and plans, or that we cannot afford full compensation for the land and property that we're taking. Well, here's what Premier Peter Lougheed said about the elements of the Bill of Rights, including property, when he was arguing for it back in May 15, 1972. It is certainly not going to be convenient for government. Every minister and every department I know already is concerned with it. But these reasons are the very reasons why I feel so strongly we should propose it. Because in this modern day, and in our society today in Canada, almost every facet of our life seems to be involved with government law or government regulations. So the rights of the individuals needs protection from the power of the state. And the basic philosophy that I have as a conservative and as a legislature is to assure that those rights of the individuals, those 6 rights of the Bill, number 1, are protected. As we look around the world over the last 100 years, it's still true today. The places with the most centralized power are the poorest, have the biggest environmental problems, and have the fewest freedoms for their citizens. By passing this amendment, hopefully we will not need another prairie uprising to stop encroaching bills, because they are not going to be passed in the first place. Mr. Speaker, the purpose of Bill 201 is to entrench the pillars of a free and democratic society that enjoys peace and prosperity. Let's make sure we entrench property rights into the Bill of Rights. Never in Alberta's history has it been more needed than today. Thank you.
Any other member on